without doubt. And when I say like we go through like we do community engagement, we actually call it, development approval and community engagement strategies. And so like we're actually looking at not just how we sell the development to a community, like we actually take a really considered approach to the whole project. So we talk, we're looking at like, is it the right thing for the local surrounds? Like, in most cases, we often do the economic studies. We usually work on, because we work in the medium to high density space, we often have, a component of retail or mixed use within the building as well. So, so we take it like more of a development strategy approach. Is this the right thing for the development? And then, if it's okay, we're pushing a few, often pushing development parameters, but what are the things that we're pushing and pulling on, and what is the genuine give back that we can have as a result of that offset? So that's a lot of the work that we do up front, and then it's the education piece and the engagement, the feedback, the two-way, the listening, and the and the seeking of the opinions and the views on the development as we go through that process. And then it's the lodgement of the development application. So the impact assessment with development applications, you don't have to technically do anything until you're in that, until you have to put the sign up out the front and you go, we're up for public notification, and then you get the barrage of anti-development submissions. I've actually got a development project that we're working on at the moment where very similar to what you were saying, Michael, where the developer, this is one of the first projects that they've done. They genuinely, and they're the most beautiful people. So they're not out there to do the wrong thing. In actual fact, anyway, I won't go down that path. But they are beautiful people, and they genuinely didn't think that there would be significant concern or backlash from the community. The phone call that we got was halfway through public notifications, and they said, "You do community engagement, right?" I'm like, maybe not crisis management. And so they had a petition. They had a petition against them being driven by one of the local councillors that wasn't even the local councillor for their ward. Online with Brisbane City Council, they had Facebook page anti this development. They had Instagram. They had it was just like this vortex of angst and negativity around this project. And and the first question I asked was, have you done any community engagement? Like one of the local businesses in the area was driving a lot of it, and this is a mixed-use development that we're, that they're proposing. I said, have you spoken to this local business about being a potential, operator within your new development? Said, oh yeah, we've been thinking about it. We would love to have them there. We want to support their business, but we haven't spoken to them yet. And and all of a sudden, they happen to be one of the drivers behind all of this negativity. And so it's just a perfect example of losing that control, losing the narrative, the misinformation and the vortex that more often than not happens in this space. And so, we've had to go into a lot of damage control, and I worked with Sarah Dixon, who spoke on here a couple of weeks ago, and together we worked in trying to, bring it back to like, well, these are the actual facts. Here are our contact details. Like, if you have any questions whatsoever, come and ask us. We're putting fact sheets out there about the development. Here's a link to the plans and the documents, and here you've got concerns about traffic. Here's the traffic report, and here's all the information in simpleton terms, like here's all the information that you need. And like within that public notification period, we ended up getting about 100 submissions. 60 of those were against, and 40 we were able to get 4 in support of the development application. And so that was about going out there and speaking to people, literally pounding the pavement, speaking to businesses, speaking to local residents, and really communicating what the development was that was proposed. And now what we're doing, the client was actually looking down the barrel of a refusal for this site. Like, it was, they'd had a couple of conversations with council through the process, and it was not looking very good for them. They've subsequently gone and met with some of the councillors, and they've said, like, we really appreciate the efforts that you've gone through engaging with community around the project and communicating and educating them what's proposed. We want you to take it to the next steps in terms of like actually genuinely listening to their feedback. So we're working through that process now. unfortunately it's at the back end, so this is what we would do right up front, but at least now we're feeling a bit more optimistic and like, okay, well, we can work with this. There's something that we can do to turn this around and hopefully get an approval. And even like in the likelihood, like I still say to the client, the likelihood is probably still going to go to appeal, unfortunately, given that the horse has bolted on this one, but at least we can really demonstrate that we've made a concerted effort to work with you and do the right thing for the local area. So I know that's a really long answer, but I guess that's kind of an approach that we take on all of our projects.